Butterflies fill my spine, I feel myself getting hot again. Nerves rushing through my brain, yeah, they can't hear fire from the trees. You're standing by his side, red drops burning down your face. You're real close now, baby. Holy fuck, I feel it with you. I lose self-control. Now I found that you're not one to hear me now. You got me on my knees begging for your lady. And like a fool to stand around and let you blame me. And I'm riding in the sky to the heavens like an
Hi, my name is Leo Connors and welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. Tonight, I got a very special guest, good friend and professional wrestling fan, Jerry Lane.
Hey, Leo.
How are you, my friend?
I'm hanging in there for an old fella. Thanks for having me on.
No, not a problem, but this is going to be fun. Let's get right into it.
Yeah.
We'll start with the fan questions.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Pitaro, what would you like to see independent wrestling promotions do to stand out in fans' minds?
Number one, open your doors on time. If you say
Right.
doors at 7, shows at 8,
Yeah,
open the door at 7.
right.
So, I mean, unless there are unforeseen circumstances, you know, like
Yeah.
somebody forgot to bring the ring to,
Well, let's hope that don't happen.
to set up or something like that. But start on time and be consistent with it, and people will come in droves in addition to putting on a great show.
Right.
So,
That's a great one, though. That really is. Walter Mazik, Jerry, how crazy was the last Chaotic Wrestling show? I can't wait to hear about this. And I'm glad to see you back at shows. Thank you, Walter.
thank you, Walter,
How
my
crazy
friend.
was the last Chaotic show?
It was crazy.
Yeah?
The main event was JT Dunn defending the Chaotic heavyweight title against Danny Miles in a barbed wire steel cage.
Oh, Jesus.
And
Must have been
when it was all said and done, JT won the match.
Yep.
But then Ricky Smokes comes out and slams the cage door on JT's head.
Oh.
And he cashed in his contract that
Yeah.
he had
Right.
for a title match. And the match lasted maybe 2 or 3 minutes
Yeah.
tops, and Ricky ended up winning.
Wow.
So Ricky Smokes is now the Chaotic Wrestling Heavyweight Champion.
That's awesome.
And in addition to that main event match, earlier in the night, Ricky wrestled Seabass Finn
Yes.
with his briefcase on the pole that supposedly contained $7,000.
Ooh.
That was Ricky's shtick for a while.
Yeah.
The 7-minute, $7,000 challenge. You had to beat him in less than 7 minutes
Right.
in order to get the money.
Right.
So Ricky beat Seabass in that match, and at the end of the match,
Yeah.
Chase came out
Yeah.
and presented Ricky with a WWE ID contract.
Nice. That's awesome.
That
That is really cool.
that was a hell of a moment, and I'm so happy for Ricky because he's worked his butt off
Oh, yeah. He looks great. He's really good, too.
And he's
He's really good.
everywhere.
Yeah.
At Wrestling Open,
Yep.
Ricky is in a tag team
Yes.
with Brad Baylor
Yeah.
called Swipe Right.
Yeah.
I've never been. I haven't been to a Beyond or Wrestling Open show
Really?
in about 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
And I've only been to one out there at the White Eagle.
Right.
I'd like to get out there more,
Right.
health permitting. But Brad also got a WWE
Yes.
ID contract.
Yes, he did.
So
It's pretty exciting.
yeah, I'm happy for both those guys, and also from Chaotic Wrestling, Aaron Rourke
Yeah, he got
got
one too. Yeah.
a contract.
That kid's really, really good, man. All those three guys you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, they really. And Seabass, I saw him at Wrestling Open.
And
He's a pretty impressive kid.
last Friday night in Watertown, Ricky wrestled Seabass again for his first title defense.
Yeah.
35 minutes
Wow.
before Ricky finally got the upper hand. I was not there at that show. I was at NCW last Friday.
okay.
Their last show of the season.
Yeah.
WrestleFest 19.
Nice.
And what started out in the main event as Mike Montero versus the cold, hard truth, Johnny Pierce.
Yeah. Wow.
Stephen Lust, who was supposed to be in the match originally,
Yeah.
but wasn't because he supposedly he was attacked. Before that, he's been rehabbing an injured shoulder.
Okay.
He came out with the sling on his arm,
Yeah.
and Montero kept egging him on, come on in, come on in. He got in there, took the sling off, and started pounding away, and it ended up a triple threat match, and Stephen Lust ended up winning.
Wow.
So he's a two-time
NCW.
NCW Triple Crown.
Wow.
champion.
Okay. Nice.
So that was an amazing show.
Steve's been killing it
Yeah, he
the
has.
past year or so, maybe even a little longer than that.
Yep,
You know?
absolutely. I love those guys,
It's great to see.
and he'll be around a week from Saturday. The Proving Ground is
Yes.
running at the Beverly.
Yep.
Or the Peabody Elks Lodge.
Peabody.
The
Yes.
Peabody Elks
Yep.
Lodge.
That's going to be a good show, and it's Dirt City Murder Crew versus Dirt City Murder Crew.
Yeah, that I'm looking forward to that.
JT Dunn's on the show.
And yep, that's right. And
What's the match Todd's involved in? With Frank Bones.
With Frank Bones.
Is taking on who?
He's got Greedy Bones in
In his corner.
corner.
Yes.
And Todd
Tommy
is
Billington.
seconding Tommy Billington.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. No, not just because I like Todd and he was here last week, but Proving Ground keeps.
Yep.
Am I wrong?
They
I'm definitely not wrong.
they put on a tremendous show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every time at every venue. And my favorite venue to watch their show is the Peabody Black Box.
I've never been to the Black Box, so I need to go. Yeah.
It's a hell of an experience.
Nice.
And the other match that people might be interested in, last year at the same event, Nothing Left to Prove, they had a holiday death match.
And they're having another one.
Tommy Trainwreck
Yes.
wrestled Jason Devine last year
Right.
and literally tore the house down.
Yeah.
This year, Tommy Trainwreck is coming back
Yes.
for another holiday death match with Elle Valentine.
It's going to be crazy.
And she is
Yeah.
shit crazy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So that's
It's going to be great.
that's going to
That's
be awesome.
the 14th?
Yep.
The 14th. I gotta
Yep,
see
a
if I
week
can
from
get up for that.
Saturday.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a good show to go to.
Yep. Absolutely.
Mikey Fratton. Good old Mikey.
Mikey.
He didn't ask a
my
question,
guy.
but I like him. I like Mikey.
Mikey's a good dude.
Put that man in the New England Hall of Fame.
Oh,
You definitely should be in.
Oh,
there
you-
should be a fan section, and you
Oh,
should be
you
in there.
stop.
I'm serious.
You know who deserves
Damon?
to go in before me is Damon Farah.
I think both you guys should go in together. I think. I'm serious. I can't pick either one. Dude, you've been around so long to the Indies.
Yeah.
So long. You know? And Damon supports every single
Yeah.
independent wrestler.
Nah.
You got a shirt, make sure you have a 4XL.
Exactly.
Because Damon wants to buy one.
Yep. I wish I could go to his house and see his T-shirt collection.
Well, he says everything figures on the wall. I mean, it's like he's actually said, I need to move to a bigger place. That's what he said. I need to move to a bigger place because I'm running out of room.
Oh man.
It's amazing stuff, though. Huh?
Yeah.
It's-
But the difference now with me being older than Damon anyway, but he's able to travel a little bit further out.
right. Yeah, yeah.
He'll go to Connecticut
Oh, yeah?
for shows.
Oh, yeah?
He'll go to Jersey
Yes,
for
he
a
will.
show.
Like that, no problem.
For depending on who it is that he
Yeah.
wants to see. So
But you're right. Damon is a great fan. That's why I said I don't think you guys would have to go in together. That's my point of view on that one. Joe Bruin.
I appreciate that, but
And thanks, Mikey.
I'm not going to get a big head over that.
No. You wouldn't get a big head over that anyways. I don't think you would.
No.
All right, Andy Miller. We talked about this off air. Do you remember your first indie show? If so, who was on the card?
There were two of them that come to mind. Most of my early indie experience was going to Tony Rumble's CWA.
Century Wrestling Alliance.
Right. And the early days of NECW with Sheldon.
Right.
I'm sure you're aware that because when you had him on the show earlier.
Coming back up, too.
Oh, nice.
Weeks.
That the first show he ran was in Wethersfield, Connecticut.
Wow.
Before
You went?
No, I was not at that show, but I attended almost every show after that he presented at Good Time Emporium in Somerville.
Yeah. Didn't he run Quincy, too, a little, quite a bit?
the Quincy Armory.
Yeah.
5 minutes from where I live.
Right.
Used to love going to those shows.
One show really sticks out to me is I had Sarah with me, and she was just that age where she really shouldn't be going into a boys' room to go pee anymore. But yet a little too small to send her in by herself.
Right.
And Claudia and Dee, Jose's wife and daughter, they offered to take Sarah into the bathroom for me, which was awesome.
That was great.
Great people.
Yep. And then Jose was a great talent for Sheldon. Him and Don Vega.
Yeah. Wreaking havoc.
Wreaking havoc.
They work good together. I'll be honest with you, I was really excited about Sheldon always had good tag teams.
Yep.
Always.
Yep.
I mean, the Canadian superstars.
Yeah.
Dave Cole and Jay Buster.
Buster.
They were awesome. The crown jewels.
Yeah. With Tony Ulysses, they were a terrific act too.
No doubt.
I think there's a question coming up, and when it does come up, I'll wait to answer it.
Okay.
I won't spill the beans now about,
Okay. Well,
shows
we'll
like
get
that.
we got plenty of time here. Yeah. Scott Anthony. Jerry, you are well known to New England like WWE's Vladimir. Very true.
Oh, God.
Would you consider someone doing a documentary on your travels in New England wrestling?
Oh, wow.
What do you think about...
It'd be pretty boring to follow me around to go from show to show.
You have a lot of pictures from over the years too, right? Any videos?
I had some no videos except for a handful that Sheldon had put out.
Oh, okay. Yep.
But I didn't really buy any indie videos at all. But Wow, that would really be something. But like I said, you'll be bored stiff if you follow me around.
I think it would be good. But can you drop your top 3 holy moments in indie wrestling that pertain to shows you attended?
Well, I think the biggest holy
Yeah.
moment was at a show that I did not attend, and it's been discussed with one of your most recent guests, Brian Malonis, when Vince McMahon showed up in Chaotic
That was
Wrestling.
unbelievable. That was crazy,
Vince
right?
and John Cena.
I was so mad I wasn't there.
Yeah, I wish I could have been there, but that's,
That might be the biggest holy moment of all.
That tops the list. But I think more recently, Davey N winning the Chaotic title,
Yes.
first female to ever do it.
Was that against JT?
Yes, it was.
Yes.
And another one, and this is where it comes up now. NECW, Quincy Armory, Davey Cash versus Chris Pyro.
Whoa.
They were not together then. They turned on each other and had a terrific
been good.
feud. Pyro
Yeah.
jumped off of their Tron that was standing, in the rampway.
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
and splashed Davey through a table off the Tron.
Nice.
That was unbelievable. And pieces of the table broke, and I grabbed one piece and I had Davey and Chris sign it for me.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I don't know where it is right now
Yeah.
because I got so much crap.
I got a piece of a table too from a Ring of Honor show. So
Oh,
really cool.
Nice.
Man. Really,
Yeah,
really cool.
those are always cool moments.
Were you at the NECW show when Santa Claus unmasked? I want to say it was Alex Arion versus Slick, I want to say. And Santa unmasked to be super bad Steve Bradley. I was flipping out.
I missed that one. I was not at that one.
That was the one time I
heard
sold
about
my
it.
merchandise at Sheldon's show, and he came over and gave me some candy canes, and he picked up my Missy Hyatt book and went, "What a ho, and he handed me the book, hilarious. But like when I was with this kid RJ I brought with me, who I don't even talk to anymore, but all of a sudden when I knew he was gonna do it, I'm like, hey, watch the stuff. I got right up there. I was like, oh my God, because I want to know who it was. Yeah. It was Bradley.
Two other moments in NECW that were pretty significant when you consider who's doing what now. I wasn't at this show, but Becky Lynch's first match in the United States
Yes.
was at an NECW show in
Yep.
Framingham.
Wow.
That was a one-shot deal.
Yeah.
But I was at a one-shot deal NECW show in the Quincy Armory. Finn Balor.
Nice.
He
I
was-
thought you were gonna say John Cena.
No, he was.
That's cool. Still Finn Balor.
He
That's
was
awesome.
the Prince Fergal Devitt.
Right.
So that was awesome to see him there. But it was really cool too to see Cena and Frankie Kazarian at the
Yeah.
Good Time Emporium.
Right. And he brought in Doug Williams.
Yeah.
Who was an incredible worker, man.
Yes, he is.
You know.
he was awesome.
I would have loved to have seen him do a lot more. Now I don't know what he's doing now. He's probably wrestling in England.
Yes, most likely. Yeah.
Yeah. But very, very talented.
Very.
All right. What is, I don't know if this is Scott or if this is just me.
I think it's Scott because
Okay.
I think he asked 4 questions.
Oh, all right.
in one
Okay, so he's
post.
on the next one too. Okay. What is the one thing, in your opinion, that New England companies need to make during live events? Well, you already said one of them.
Yeah, start on time.
Yep, and open up on time.
And open up on time. That's my biggest thing. But I think other than that, maybe to tweak the intermission a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe give fans an extra 5 minutes to,
Yeah.
see their favorite wrestler and buy some merch.
Right.
And that kind of thing.
Especially if you have a good audience, man.
Yeah.
Make it a half an hour break.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. They'll, and they'll wait for it. Even if the show brings a lot of kids,
Yep.
you can still hold out
Oh, yeah.
for the extra half hour.
Absolutely. That's a good idea.
So, other than that, just to give the guys and gals more opportunities to sell their merch and
That's right. Make some money.
and take pictures with the fans.
All right. Scott's last question. If you would be inducted into, I think you're so funny, humble. If you would be included into the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, who would you like to induct you?
Oh boy, that's a tough one.
Because you'd have so many choices.
Yep.
You really would.
But
You've got a lot of wrestling friends.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate in that regard.
Yep.
To know so many and be somewhat in their circle.
Right.
Like you always used to say back in the old days, I'm not in the business.
That's right.
But I'm
not.
around it.
I'm around it. Yep. And you are too.
So I think it would have to be the Hurricane.
Yeah.
My son.
Nice. That would be awesome.
And he would, and I'm sure he wouldn't waste any opportunity to take all kinds of jabs at me and make jokes and stuff.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't my son, believe it or not, I'd want Damon to
Nice.
do it. I'd want Damon to do
Good choice. Good choice.
it. So,
Damon's not really loud and outgoing, but he's not really shy either.
No.
Do you know what I mean? I could see
Yep.
him doing a hell of a job doing that. I really could.
yeah, I would love to be able to go to a gathering with you guys.
Oh man, it's incredible, Jerry. It's unbelievable. It's the most fun that I thought. Every year it just keeps getting better and better and better. This year it's the Stockade.
Yeah.
It's all about Stockade. So,
Right.
Tully's going to be there. Magnum's going to be there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Anybody else that's
heard
alive.
about it,
I think Abby wrestled on a few of those, too.
Yeah.
So Abby could be there again. I think Abby was there last year. A lot of vendors bring in guys,
Yep.
which is awesome. And then you got people from the area, kind of.
That is awesome.
Kind of area where they always come, like Missy Hyatt's always there. George South is always there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Always. Because they're, But Missy don't look the same.
No, she doesn't.
No.
And I think it was posted recently that JBL's going to be there this year.
Yes. Yep. It's going to be pretty cool. I'm just gonna, I like to go through and get my magazine signed.
Yeah.
That's what I like to get signed. All right. Adam Luce. I put Aaron Luce.
Oh,
I did. What is the furthest you've traveled to a show? Just in case it's Aaron Luce, I'm pretty sure it's Adam Luce.
yep, it is Adam.
Thanks, Adam. What is the furthest
A
you've
new
ever traveled?
dad, by the way.
Oh, yes. New dad. Congratulations, my friend. I miss seeing Adam at shows. I really do. He'd be a good guest, too.
Technically, it doesn't count as an indie because they were like the alternative brand, like AEW is trying to be now.
Right.
But I've been to the ECW arena 4 times
Nice.
in mid to late 90s.
Yeah.
One of the first times was at Barely Legal.
Oh, wow.
In 1997.
No kidding.
Their first attempt at a pay-per-view.
Right.
And they did a great job on that. I drove down by myself for the weekend.
Yeah.
I went to an a Dennis Coralluzzo indie show in New Jersey on Friday night. And then Saturday night they had Barely Legal.
Yeah.
Monday night
Yeah.
there was Nitro.
In the ECW arena?
Not
Oh,
there, but
in Philly.
like in whatever
Wells Fargo or whatever.
whatever
Whatever it
called
was
back
then. Yeah. I think it's
So-
Wells Fargo now.
Yeah.
Probably could have been then too. I don't know.
So 3 shows in 4 nights.
Wow.
But stupid me didn't plan very well. Instead of, trying to book a hotel
Yeah.
to stay at for a few days, after Nitro ended that Monday night, I drove back home.
You must have been exhausted.
I got home at 8 o'clock in the morning
Yeah.
the next day, and that's exactly what I did. I went right to bed.
Yeah.
But it was worth it.
Right? When I did Tommy Dreamer's first show in Poughkeepsie, New York, 5 hours, we drove back, me and my nephew. When we got back, dropped him off in Lowell at like 7:30 a.m. Because I mean, we stayed for a while after the show.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I catered that show, so that was a lot of fun. Tommy's a really nice guy. How many times have you met Tommy? I'm sure you. So many.
At least a half a dozen.
Yeah. What a great guy, though.
Oh, yeah.
So not like honestly, one of the most friendly guys, wrestling fans.
Yeah.
I mean wrestlers. You know what I mean? To me.
Absolutely. And he's not one of those bitter wrestlers who he had his time in WWE,
Yeah.
and
He just loves the business.
yep, he had his time in Ring of Honor too, I think, didn't he?
A little bit in TNA.
A couple of times, and TNA.
Yeah.
And in the last
House of Hardcore was fun shows.
House of I went to a
The
House
one
of-
in Mass, right?
Yep, I went to a House of Hardcore show down on the South Shore, a little.
Yep.
Not too far from where I live, maybe.
Isn't it where New England
1050
All Stars
West.
ran, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Exactly. And also, within the last 5 to 10 years, Tommy's come up here a few times
Chaotic.
for Chaotic.
Yeah. He's a great, like I said, wicked nice. He tried to get me catering jobs with TNA and kept telling me to charge him full price, he said. Seriously, right? I couldn't because he hit me up on a text. So I didn't know what to do. Is this real? Because I know I've gotten fake ones before. I have. And sure enough, I hit up George Carroll. I said, George, can you do me a favor? I just got this. I sent him the text. I said, got this supposedly from Tommy Dreamer. Can you just tell me if that's really Tommy Dreamer? And he came back and said, yeah, that's really Tommy Dreamer.
Speaking of George Carroll, another great guy.
Oh, incredible.
And he's doing awesome work in
Yeah, he
NXT.
is. Yep.
I can't,
Hard-working guy, man. He worked his way all the way up just like a wrestler.
all the way up. I remember when George was on the booking committee for NECW.
Yes. Yeah.
Back then, and hopefully I get to see him when NXT comes
Yeah,
to
that'd be cool.
Lowell in
hit
a
him up.
couple weeks.
You're doing a favor. You can hit him up and maybe make plans to see him. You know what I mean? Honestly, he would love to. Trust me, dude. George is such a good guy. He would love to hear from you. He really would.
Yeah, I might try that.
He really
but I
should.
think
He's an incredible guy, man. I mean,
forget.
he's been so nice to me about the show and stuff like that. He was one of the first guys to give me some feedback and stuff. You
Nice.
know? And I remember the one thing he said, he said a few things, but you have an engaging personality, Leo. It's not like you want to change the channel on you. So I was like, wow, that was nice of him to say.
Yeah.
So I ended up buying something from an ICW No Holds Barred with Rocky, the movie Rocky, and I gave it to George. I bought it because you know how much he loves the Rocky. It's his favorite movie franchise.
Yeah.
But he is a great guy, and you definitely should hit him up. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Shalazzo Hollywood.
Salazzo.
Do you know who that's a real person's name?
Yes.
Okay. Is it a wrestler or something?
No, he's a fan, and I haven't met him in person,
Okay.
but I know him through the auctions online that Steve Perkins used to run.
Okay.
And he and I would trade bids back and
Yeah,
forth
yeah.
for certain items, and he'd be pissed if I outbid him for one item, and then for others that I they would be cool to have, but I didn't really need them.
Yeah.
I'd leave them alone and let him have a few.
Yeah.
But he's a good dude.
Nice. All right. Well, he says, you are an avid wrestling collector. What is your favorite piece you've collected? And what do you think is your rarest?
Oh, boy.
And I'm excited for this, guys. You should be
think-
too. Watch this.
It's not my rarest, but one of my favorites.
Wow.
Stacy Keibler bobblehead.
That's wild, man. That is so cool.
And the Randy Savage Slim Jim
Wow.
figure.
Yep. That's awesome. There's a figure in here?
Yes, there is.
That's cool, man.
If you want to pull it out, you can.
Snap into us. Should we do it from the bottom because it opened?
Yeah, if you want to do it that way.
Okay. Ah, there we go.
There it is.
Look at that. Pretty cool. Oh, yeah. Macho Madness. That's awesome, Jerry.
Cream of the crop.
Cream of the crop. He is
And-
one of my all-time favorites.
I think this would qualify as my rarest piece. I believe I bought this on a Steve Perkins online auction.
Okay. Oh, my God.
Gordon Soley Championship Wrestling board game.
Wow. I've seen them in the magazines. You know what I mean? Like they were selling them.
Yeah.
Wow. Dude, this is amazing.
There's cards and dice and,
Yeah.
the board.
Questions. That is so cool.
Questions in all kinds of categories.
Yeah. Gordon Soley, wrestling trivia game.
So it goes up as far as the mid 80s,
Yeah.
I think, and all the way back to like the 40s and 50s.
Wow.
For questions. So
Do you listen to Cornette?
occasionally,
Because I like to play along with the game when they find with the program. They tell you who's wrestling. They have to teach. Jim tries to say what year, what city it was in, what company maybe. Oh, it's pretty awesome, man. I do pretty good in that too because of my love for the magazine since I was 7 years old.
I haven't listened during that part
Yeah.
when he's on.
It's pretty awesome though. It's a fun game they play.
Oh,
You know,
bet.
because they'll be like, Terry Funk took on Bobo Brazil, and like I said, you have to guess the year, not the month. I mean, Jim will try even, you know what I mean?
Right.
But the year and, the promotion and all that. It's pretty wild.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Anthony Miller, what is your favorite championship win that you have seen in the independents?
Championship win, I think I mentioned it earlier, with, when Davey Ann won the Chaotic title.
Nice.
First woman to ever do it. That's my favorite moment, I would say.
All right. And what are your top 3 indie promotions that you like going to? And this is like a loaded question.
It's like, which one of your children do you love the best?
Yeah.
Because I love them all when I can get to them.
Yep.
Because of my health issues, I was off the grid for about 5.5 months.
Wow.
So I missed a lot of shows.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the end result coming out of that is now, like Sheldon, I'm on dialysis now. So I'm slowly but surely getting back into the game as far as going to shows.
Yep.
I've been to 7 shows since I've been home in
Okay.
mid-October.
Nice.
I've been to 2 NCW shows.
Yep.
I went to APW.
Yep.
I went to the chaotic one at Andover High School where Ricky won the title and got his contract. Then the next night after that, I went to Undisputed Wrestling Entertainment.
That is the old UFO wrestling.
That's correct.
And didn't they jump Pat?
I don't know what went on behind the scenes
Okay.
with him, but I'm under the assumption that Bo Douglas is running it now.
Oh, okay.
And if he's not, it might be Danny Picard. He used to be on the radio on the weekends on EEI doing sports talk.
Oh, nice.
And then he left that, and
Right.
I don't know what ended up happening to him. But I went to one of the last UFO shows they did,
Right.
and they were, paying tribute to Pat for like
Yep.
20 years of UFO.
Right.
I think it was. And it was all a setup to beat the crap out of Pat.
Yeah.
And
Parker Boudreaux?
Parker Boudreaux, who had a cup of coffee in NXT.
Yeah. And AEW.
And I don't know what they're paying him because
Right. Yeah, it's like-
they're not, they're not drawing 150, 200, 300 like the others.
And isn't there an indie company running that's bringing in top dollar, AJ Francis?
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure there's, I don't know which one it is, if it's Focus or it's BWA or somebody, though, is bringing AJ Francis in.
Oh, wow. And speaking of Focus Pro, I was there Saturday night for their show in Braintree, which was great because that's like a 5-minute ride from my house.
Right.
There were a lot of terrific matches on there. Marcus Mathers,
Yep.
who also got a
WID, yep.
WID contract, had a great match. The main event was Tyree Taylor, who also wrestles for Chaotic. And
Right.
He's a terrific big man.
Yeah, he is.
Defending the Focus Pro title against, who was it? Anyway, Tyree ended up losing.
He lost the title.
He lost the title, but Manny Aries,
Manny.
he had a contract
For a title match?
to cash in for a title
I
match.
see this post.
He took advantage of it, and he ended up winning the title.
Nice.
So now Manny's the new Focus Pro champion.
He's really been killing it.
He has.
And along with his tag team partner, Kid V, in the neighborhood.
And another fun match on that show was Danny Miles
Yeah.
versus Gabby Forza.
Oh, wow, the gnome.
The Nomi.
Right? The gnome, yeah.
Nomi.
Yeah.
My homie. She won.
Wow.
She beat.
Now, she's from Creative Pro.
Yep.
Yeah.
She is.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and she's a real sweetheart too. She's married to
Yeah.
the guy from the
Bronson.
Bronson. From
Bear
the,
Bronson.
from the Iron
Yeah.
Savages.
Yeah. That hell of a team.
Yeah, they are.
I remember when I ever saw, they called him Beefcake Charlie. Do you remember him? Like that was his partner. I don't know what his name is in the Iron Savages. I really don't.
Yeah, it's.
Is it Beefcake?
I think it's just Beefcake.
Yeah. He's a freaking huge guy, man. I mean, he's huge. Not just tall. And I'm not saying he's fat. He's just.
Yeah, he's built like a brick
Yeah.
shithouse.
He really is. He's a big, big dude. And I like them as a team. Again, I love tag team wrestling. That's my favorite. You know?
Yeah, they were great when they wrestled together in Chaotic. They were tag team champions for a little while.
Yeah, they had some great matches. All right. Jennifer Hughes. What's your favorite match in NECW history?
Ooh.
Thank
And
you,
we
Jennifer.
mentioned that one earlier too, the Pyro Davey Cash match where Pyro jumped off the Tron and crashed Davey through the table. He had to be a good 15 to 20
I was
feet.
going to say probably at least 15, right?
15 to 20 feet in the air when that happened.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of cool moments in NECW. I remember when Brian Malonis came in briefly as a surprise attacker of Max Bauer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that was a pretty cool moment.
Yeah.
And they had a couple of matches over a few month period, so that was good. And of course, Ivar of the Viking Raiders started out as Handsome Johnny.
He did.
Started out in NECW and was also working Chaotic, and he appeared on a few MWF shows too.
Yes.
So
Those MWF shows were really good.
yeah, they were.
Dan put on a hell of a card, man, over and over and over. I mean, bringing in guys like Homicide, Jay Lethal, JBL once, right?
Yep.
But no, really though. I mean, Ian not on top of that, but booking the top New England talent.
Paul Bearer too.
Yeah, that's right, Paul Bear, Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
I have a really cool picture of Sarah and Jizea with Daniel Bryan.
Oh, nice.
And Paul Bearer's right next to him. When none of us are paying attention to him, we're all focused on Daniel Bryan. It's pretty funny. But I really enjoyed going to Dan's shows.
Yeah.
They were a lot of fun.
They were.
I just sell my merchandise at the show. The commissioner hooked that up, Brad.
Yeah.
I saw Brad at a NCW show. He was with Sheldon, like maybe a couple of years ago. Me and Dave went.
Dr. Vaughn Johnson.
Yeah.
That was his
Dr. Buck.
character.
He used to call me and talk trash about every single person that he brought up. I'm not kidding. Talk trash about everyone. And after a while, I stopped answering the phone.
Yeah.
I couldn't take it anymore. I really couldn't,
Can't deal with it.
you know? Bad-mouthing guys that I look up to and like I'm fans of, you know what I mean?
But pretty much from the beginning, I've been loyal to NECW and fairly loyal to Chaotic.
Yep.
They ran a couple of times at Wonderland Dog Track before.
Chaotic did?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
believe so. Yeah, before.
Oh, wow.
Before NECW ran a couple
Well,
shows.
that's where the show was for Bradley. Was at the dog track.
At the dog track.
dog track, yeah.
Yeah.
It was incredible, man. I was so excited. First time I ever saw Bradley live. I never saw him locally. Never did.
No, I never saw him live either, except for a handful of times
Right.
on TV.
I popped huge,
That
man.
was it. Yeah,
And I guarantee there are people around me that knew who he was because I was saying it.
I'll bet.
Oh my God, super bad. People, who? I'm like, come on, man.
So as far as the top three, so NECW, Chaotic,
Yeah.
and I mean, third has to be a tie between LPW,
Yep.
Jim Burgoyne and Chris Sullivan and the gang. Shout out to them. I haven't been to any of their shows in the last few months
They
while
put
I've
on
been
good shows,
sick.
too.
And APW, I don't mind
Right.
the hour drive up there from Quincy to Newburyport.
They put on good shows,
They-
too.
yeah.
They definitely do.
Yeah.
You see Damon at those shows a lot,
Yep,
too.
absolutely. Yeah, so
All right. Well, Scotty Slade popped in. If you could book any kind of match with any kind of stipulation with any wrestlers, current or past, what would it be?
Wow. I saw that question,
question.
and I started thinking, wow, this one I could go way back to when he said either, past or present.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see him much. He'd come in for like maybe one shot and then leave and, go back to Texas. I would love to see Bruno Sammartino versus Bruiser Brody, last man standing.
Wow. That'd be an incredible match. Could have happened in 1976.
Yeah, it might have. I saw Bruno and Brody at the old Garden in '76.
Wow.
And that was a hell of a match. And,
Yeah.
I think I saw them wrestle twice. And one of the times was, Brody went outside to beat up on Bruno and didn't get back in by the count of 10.
Yeah.
And he'd get counted out, to protect himself. And then he'd, go right back to Texas and do his thing down there.
That's wild. I went to a couple of shows in my neighborhood at the Janus skating rink, and I didn't realize this until years later, and I'm looking at the card.
Yeah.
Bruiser Brody wrestled a guy by the name of Jose Gonzalez, and Jose Gonzalez likes to say that Brody bullied him. Did Brody bully him that night when I was 11 years old? Seriously.
Nope. What a scumbag.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And Jose Gonzalez was a low-level jobber type guy in WWF back in the day.
Yeah, like Kevin Sullivan and even El Olympico.
Right. Yeah.
Those guys, they were like that same level.
Yep, they'd get a win every once in a while, depending on which jobber they were wrestling.
Right.
Maybe. But when they tried to wrestle the guys higher up on the card,
they got whooped.
They'd always get beat. So.
Did you ever see the show where I think it's Greg Valentine? No, Professor Toru Tanaka is taking on, what's his name? El Olympico. But he has the mask on with the faceless mask.
Yeah.
And Tanaka's looking at the fans going, like, look at this guy. What's he wearing a mask for?
That had to be on MSG or something like that.
Yeah, it was
in New
from
York.
MSG. It was.
Because
WWE Classics is when I saw
the mask, I believe, was outlawed in New York State for a long time.
Right. Mil Mascaras.
And that's why Olympico had the faceless mask on.
And the first time a mask guy was when they booked Mil Mascaras.
Yeah.
In the early or mid 70s.
Talk about a guy full of himself.
Oh, yeah.
Refused to lose to anyone.
Dude, I tried to meet him, me and Josiah, at the Icons of Wrestling, and he said, I don't speak the English. I said, dude, I heard you speak English on television. And he just ignored us. Yeah. I'm like, what up? And we got a picture with him, but what a jerk.
I would have loved to have gone to the WWF TV tapings in Hamburg and Allentown.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I'd
like to go to Madison Square Garden and see a show.
Luckily, I've been to Madison Square Garden once.
That's awesome.
For WrestleMania 10.
Cool.
But we were up in the nosebleeds, like the next to last row. Thank God their Tron was up there, so we could see a little bit.
Dude, the most famous arena.
Yep.
Ever.
Yep.
Now, do you know there's another Madison Square Garden in Arizona or something like that? I'm not even joking.
I was not aware of that.
There really is. I wish I knew. I'll when I look it up when I go home, I'll send it to you. It's crazy because I'm like, Madison Square Garden. I want to say it's in Arizona.
Wow.
So it's kind of crazy that there's two of them.
I'd be fascinated to read about that.
Oh, no doubt. All right. So John Dyson. John's awesome. John does a lot of the auctions, the silent auctions at the Golden Gloves, the boxing event, the amateur boxing thing. Yeah, all right. Good How many matches have you been to?
Oh, God.
It's got to be in the thousands.
Oh.
What do you think, 5?
At least.
Remember, matches. Just
at least. I mean, I first started going to the old Boston Garden in 1975.
Wow, I was 10. Do you remind me, how old were you?
75, that would have made me 17.
Wow, that's wild. Nobody in my family liked wrestling, so I could never say to someone, take me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, my dad, when I got old enough, 13, he would drop me off at the auditorium and pick me back up. because we literally lived 6-7 minute car ride from the auditorium.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to leave a little early to get a parking spot up there.
Oh yeah,
For
yeah.
NXT.
For NXT, yeah, you should go out to eat too. There's plenty of places around there.
Yeah.
Downtown.
There's actually one right across the street
Oh, that's yes.
from the auditorium.
Yep.
I ate there one time.
Was it a pizza place, right?
Yeah, an Italian place. They
Oh, okay.
had a little bit of everything.
Nice.
Pizza, subs, salads, the whole 9 yards. So we're probably gonna have dinner there.
Nice. And I gotta get some tickets to that. All right, John Dyson. Does one stand out over all the rest? You already talked about that Davey and Chris Pyro match, Davey Cash.
Yep.
I mean,
Absolutely. I mean, there's just
and they know each other inside out, so that really must have been incredible.
and that there's just so many of them, and
Definitely.
and so many promotions now
Yeah.
on the indies in New England.
Right.
And you can talk, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, or Florida, but I think New England has the best
I do too.
local promotions.
Yeah. The tri-states are good too, though. The Philly,
Yeah, Philly and
New York, and New Jersey, no
yeah.
doubt. Florida's good too. But I think New England's got the best indies. I do.
And when you consider all the people working in WWE and AEW now
Yeah.
that started out
Right.
in New England,
Yep.
you can't beat it. I'm so stinking happy for all the guys and gals
doubt.
that have made it or
Yeah. It's pretty amazing.
are getting a chance.
All right. Landon Connor Estentender. Sorry, buddy. Jerry, give us your best Amadeus story. I know you guys were close and you always went to see him.
Well, first of all, I don't know this guy
Okay.
who's asking the question. I wouldn't know him if I tripped over him, but maybe if I saw his face, I'd recognize him.
Maybe.
But I don't really have a favorite Amadeus story because we weren't that close. We just knew each other from,
Right.
from me going to the shows and stuff and talking to him for a little bit.
Right.
But before he retired as a wrestler to do what he's doing now, one of the last times I saw him wrestle, I believe it was for UFO.
Okay.
I could be wrong. And it was somewhere in Haverhill, I think. And I remember it was during the summertime. Amadeus versus Vern Vicalo in a
So was this for
in a
APW?
street fight.
Because if it was in Haverhill, they used to run those things. Like APW would run in Haverhill outside.
Oh, you know what? It might have been.
Yeah.
It might have been APW then. But Amadeus versus Vern Vicalo street fight. Fists flying, beer flying.
Yeah.
Anything goes. All weapons legal. And Amadeus was a bloody mess afterwards.
Nice.
But it was a terrific match. That's my best memory of Brian.
Nice. I'll tell you right now, Vern Vicalo is making his return after a 6-year absence.
Yep.
Coming up to do the show soon.
Yeah.
I want to say it's in January.
Actually, it's a week from Saturday.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, he's on the card there, and the main event is like a Survivor Series style match.
Oh, okay.
5-on-5.
Nice.
Vern's on the team with Livia,
Yep.
Braylon Johnson,
Yep.
who used to be the politician's chief of staff.
Yep.
Now I'm drawing a blank. See, this is what happens when you get old.
Yeah.
And you
Step Mike?
and you're trying to follow along with everybody. No, not Mike.
DJ Powers.
He's on the other team.
Oh, okay. That kid is good.
And I'm glad you brought him up.
I got a whole bunch of young kids I want to bring up to you. We only got 3 minutes.
I saw in a post the other day from Chaotic that DJ and Livia made their debuts.
Yes, for Chaotic.
Yeah.
Yep.
I am
Yep.
so stinking happy for
It is
both of
awesome.
them. Now they've worked so hard in all the other local indie promotions, you know, in the southern part of the state and, you know, and the northern part of the state. Now they're in Chaotic. They've made the big time.
Yeah. Yep.
And I can't wait to see.
That's awesome. Congratulations, guys. That's a big step for an independent wrestler. Getting booked by the bigger companies.
Yep.
You know? All right, listen, we got a couple minutes. These guys, in my opinion, are like killing it. Sammy Diaz, B.I.G., Channing Thomas, Alec Price, Ace Romero, Stevie Legend, who was here a few weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
Ryan Frost, who was here a couple weeks ago.
Frosty.
You know Blackie?
Yes, I
Blackie.
do.
Jermaine Marbury,
Yep.
Stephen Lust, Itchy Bond, Dustin Wall, and Kylon King. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Ricky Smokes, Brad Baylor. I saw them at Wrestling Open in the tag team match.
Yeah.
This was a couple of months ago, probably when they first kind of got together.
Yep.
Man, they're a hell of a tag team.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Obnoxious. And there was at the Wrestling Open, they get a lot of younger kids there and they love to talk trash like they think they can beat up the wrestlers. And I'm laughing because these kids are like talking such trash and I'm looking at them like, they will absolutely eat you for breakfast, dude.
Oh,
I can't believe you're saying stuff like that. I'm a respectable fan just like you, yourself. You'll never hear me yelling out disrespectful things.
No, none of that. None of that.
You know? But those guys are all killing it.
Oh, they are.
You know?
Everywhere.
B.I.G.'s coming up again on the show.
Oh, nice.
But Alec Price and Dijak wrestled at a Wrestling Open at the Palladium, and me and my buddy Dave went. And they got us to stay there all day because they did 25 minutes of music or half an hour of music, a half hour wrestling. So we were there all day because the main event was Alec Price versus Dijak, and that's why we were there.
Yeah.
We ended up having an incredible time.
Who won the match? Dijak, I imagine?
Dijak did, but then the next weekend they wrestled for Limitless,
Yeah.
and Alec won.
Alec won.
But that time in Worcester, where Dijak won, nobody really remembered it at the end of the match because Alec attacked him and left Dijak laying.
Oh, man.
Kept his heat.
Yep, exactly.
You know, Alec is incredible talent.
I think if he puts on a few more pounds of muscle, he'll get recognized.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And he'll get an ID.
Dude,
But the rest of his game is
I saw him early in the daytime at the show in Worcester, and he said, "Wait till you see that stuff." He swore that I'm gonna pull out on tonight, and I'll tell you afterwards because we don't have time. But Jerry, thanks, man.
Oh, you're welcome, man.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And, you know, if you have me on again,
Yeah.
maybe we can start talking about all the promotions.
Yeah, we can do
around
that.
New
We'll set it up.
England and do their shows.
You got time on your hands.
I certainly do.
Real quick, Landon Connor, Esternado. I'm sorry, buddy. Your name. But he did say, also, retirement looks great on you. Jerry, thanks again, buddy.
You're welcome.
All
man.
right,
Thanks
we're
for
out.
having me.
Peace. Hi, guys. I hope you're enjoying the show. Listen, I could use a little help to grow my YouTube channel. So if you could please like, share, and subscribe. That's most importantly, subscribe. Send me a direct message, and I'll give you a shout out here on the show. My YouTube channel is real simple. It's just my name, Leo Connors. Thanks in advance. Peace. Bye.